Hey, payday. You want paid? Canelo Alvarez, 14-day weigh-in. We'll talk about his weight ahead of his upcoming fight with Caleb Plant. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Listen, I don't know how you found the video, but somehow, some way, you've arrived. You made it. Please help others find the content with the simple and free gesture. Throw a like on this video. Smash the like button. It's quick. It's painless. Takes a few seconds. And it goes a long way. So reach one, teach one. Canelo Alvarez. I was born ready. I'm a little bit late. Better late than never, but never late is better. And I meant to make this video, but I'm just now getting around to it. Ego Weight Watchers, aka ILL, where I give you guys a look into the fighter lifestyle before, after, and progress pics, especially when they have an upcoming fight. So it's about to be Canelo fight week. We got some good fights on tonight, namely Jerron Boots Ennis and Jamal James. Looking forward to their fights. Canelo weighed in for his 14-day weigh-in. Listen, the WBC, they have this protocol, and they want to make sure that you're really training and basically you're within a certain percentage of the contracted weight. So you're basically on your way to making the contracted weight. So they do a 30-day check, a 14-day check. This picture that you guys see, Canelo Alvarez at his 14-day weigh-in, he weighed 174.8 pounds. So he's on track to making, of course, the 168 mark, super middleweight, where the fight will be contested with Caleb Plant. Now, this is not shocking to me, but it may be shocking to some. People have capitulated Canelo Alvarez and made it look like he's small. But if you look at recent pictures of Canelo Alvarez for quite some time, he's not really small. And it shows me a couple of things. Yes, Canelo is skilled. He's a gifted fighter. He's elite. He's a guy who came up the hard way in Mexico, just got thrown to the wolves and had to make something out of nothing. I get it. But it makes me wonder how Canelo was even making 154 towards the end. And I know making 154 and 155 because he was really doing the catch weight, so he didn't have an extra pound. And that goes to show you that he shouldn't have been in that weight class for that long. You know, his body was clearly outgrowing it. That's why he came with the man-made weight class of 155. But nonetheless, he beat Cotto at the man-made 155 and then dropped back down for a Liam Smith fight, and that was his last fight at 154, and then he moved up. But this is something that I've always known. Canelo Alvarez, he's not the biggest in stature, but he's like short and squatty and like real compact, kind of like how Mike Tyson was per his division. And I'm not saying he weighs as much as Mike Tyson, so don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But what I mean is Mike Tyson, most people, even early in his career, he was the shorter of the two heavyweights. I really can't even think of a fight at all where Mike Tyson was the taller man. I really can't, you know, because even guys like Evander Holyfield, I believe, are bigger than Mike Tyson, and that was a cruiserweight that moved up. So from Lennox Lewis to some of the other guys, Razor Ruddock or whoever, most of them guys were taller. And that's kind of been the same case for Canelo, but you could look at his calves, you could look at his legs, his neck, paws. But, you know, Canelo, he's like muscular and his legs are thicker and stuff like that. So him weighing 175, he's not as small as people think. And that's the whole point I'm making, because he moved and fought Kovalev at 175 and got a knockout. And people are acting like they see him next to Caleb Plant, like, oh, Caleb Plant is the bigger man. Caleb Plant is very lean and in shape and cut. Canelo Alvarez, him in this weight class, he's just shorter, but he, in terms of actual mass and his walking around weight, he's been at these higher weights like in his off season. And more early evidence of this was the Amir Khan fight. Amir Khan said at the time when he fought Canelo and got brutally knocked out, Amir Khan said something to the effect of Canelo came in, and this was when the fight was at 155. He said Canelo came in upwards of 180 pounds. So if he was at 155 years ago, this, keep in mind, just so you guys, for reference, because I went to that fight. I was credentialed for the Canelo versus Amir Khan fight. And that particular fight, I believe, you can fact check me on this, but I believe, my memory is crazy. I believe the T-Mobile Arena, they had a UFC fights there before, but that was the first boxing fight that they had at the T-Mobile Arena. And the T-Mobile Arena is not even the newest venue in Las Vegas on the Strip now, with the Allegiant Stadium, the new home of the Las Vegas Raiders. So it goes to show you, at that time when he was fighting, Canelo was fighting Amir Khan, that was the newest, biggest venue in Vegas. And now it's not the newest, biggest venue in Vegas because they have the Allegiant Stadium right there. So at the end of the day, it goes to show you that this was some years ago, and Canelo was already rehydrating to 180 plus pounds per Amir Khan. And he really has no reason to lie. And you've seen how deadly the one punch knockout was. So it is what it is, but I think it's a good fight. I think Caleb Plant is a dangerous fight, but I think there's this misnomer when it comes to Canelo Alvarez that he's so small and tiny. He's shorter than Caleb Smith and Rocky Fielding and stuff like that, but don't get it twisted. His walk around weight is much higher, and this is evident by his 14-day weigh-in, because 14 days out he's 175, basically 174.8. So what did he weigh at his 30-day weigh-in? What did he weigh 2 months ago? You see what I'm saying? When he wasn't in training camp. These are the things. But this is, I'm not picking on Canelo, I'm just telling you the boxing facts. And this is the standard for the most part. God, there's no way Jaron Ennis is walking around close to 147. So there's a lot of guys, like Jaron Ennis looks huge at 147. So it's not just Canelo. I think this is what you have to deal with. A lot of guys, they want to walk around at more comfortable weights or eat a little bit more freely, because when they get in the camp, it gets gangster. You know what I mean? It gets real. You got to cut out a lot of stuff. You got to run. And it could be low-key miserable. So at the end of the day, people want to pack on the size and carry the walk-around weight, and then they do these drastic weight cut fat camps and cut a bunch of pounds when they have a fight. And that's how some of them, if you're young enough or your body is flexible enough to do it, you can maintain some of your strength and not be all the way dehydrated and like overly dehydrated and weight drained and stuff like that. So anyway, that's Canelo's 14-day weigh-in. I made the video a little bit late, so there's less than 14 days before the actual event. Next week is fight week. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a great fight. Check the Showtime Boxing All Access episode 1 and 2. I watched episode 1, was amazing. Episode 2, I watched the first like probably 10 minutes of it. I gotta finish it. Let me know what you guys think if you watched either of those, and drop your thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, and I'm out. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.